Morning, all. We are now officially into kind of the middle of the pack on the draft class for 2020, and I'm wearing a Rangers because why not? I'm trying to go through the first round and go, well, who might take Noel Gunler? Noel Gunler, right wing, left wing, he's kind of been sliding around in the draft, and it feels like he's going to be one of those guys that a team picks who maybe they've seen him play a little bit. And this is the thing with Gunler. It looks like maybe visibility for NHL scouts has been an issue. Swedish scouts like the kid. They like his personality. They like his compete level. And NHL scouts didn't get to see him a whole lot this year. So he's 6'2", 187 pounds. And one of the first things that's said about him is he needs to work on his strength. That physically out on the ice, he's kind of easy to knock off the puck kind of guy. So, that being said, he's ranked number 17 on Hockey Prospect on their final rankings, and he was there the one before that too, I do believe. Number 18 on ISS Hockey, number 9 on Central Scouting among European skaters, number 22 on Elite Prospects, and Bob McKenzie had him at number 28 on his list. So anywhere from 17 to 28, and yet it averages out to 14 because there's other sites that are higher on him than that. So we'll see. Gunler is one of those guys who, when he gets announced, people are probably going to be a little bit surprised unless he slides in the draft. And this is one of those guys who could very well slide in the draft. His strength, his shooting accuracy is supposed to be excellent. So one thing that the scouts are saying about him is that his shooting accuracy is excellent. And so we'll see if that means that a team maybe takes him a little bit sooner. Maybe you look at him and you go, you know what, he's got that raw skill we can develop. Puck handling and agility are also listed as his great strengths. So there's that. Now, he played for Luleå this year in Sweden, and last year as well. 15 games, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Last year, this year, 45 games, 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points. And he did bounce around the lineup. So one thing that stands out is he didn't have reliable line mates all year where he had some chemistry with people. He was getting bounced around the lineup. And he was left off Sweden's World Junior team this year, so which surprised people, and that's going to hold Gunler down. I've mentioned before how a player plays at the World Junior Championships can really bump him up or it can bump him down. Or in this case, it may mean he doesn't get a lot of attention because scouts just didn't see him a whole lot. Guys go over to watch the World Juniors, and he's not in them. They don't have any scouting report on him. They don't have anything to say. But it is said he's one of the most gifted scorers in the draft. Pure scorer. And so we'll see whether or not that leads to somebody picking him early. Again, I think the Rangers may very well knock off Carolina. They may draft later in the first round. And in that case, maybe Gunler ends up there. Again, I don't pick these jerseys based on where I think they necessarily end up. Although it would be kind of fun to look back after the draft and see if I get any of them right. I'm guessing none of them. Not one. Bounced around the lineup, as I said, one of the most gifted scorers, and needs to add some weight. So that's one thing that they do say, he needs to add some weight, and he's working on that. He's working hard to improve his game and his strength, so apparently the team needs to drag him off the ice and drag him out of the weight room. That he is really, really wanting to prove that anybody who thinks that he may not have an NHL-level game is wrong. And I wish him all the best with that. Now, since he's Swedish, one thing I do wonder is, do the Canucks find a way to get him? Because they do tend to like Swedish players, but that being left aside and all of that. Like, I mean, if he slides in the draft, I guess maybe, but he'd have to slide quite a ways. One thing that does stand out in terms of the scouting reports, they admit he could easily slide in the draft. A lot of teams didn't necessarily see him this year, and if he slides too much, a team could be getting the steal of the draft. So depending on how you look at it, he could very well be one of those boom or bust players. If you draft him too early, you end up looking back 5 years from now and saying, gee, we don't know that we necessarily picked the best guy. And if he's drafted later, a team might be like, wow, we are really lucky we got him, and those other teams ahead of us didn't. So it really is kind of all over the place with Gunler. I'm expecting them all to be kind of all over the place after this as well. This is a deep draft, and there are very strong differing opinions when you get into the weeds of who's going to go where, especially once you get outside the top 10. So I intend to do these videos going through to, I want to say, the end of the first round, but I may go further than that. I may be like, you know what, we could just keep this going, and it's going to depend on, the feedback I get from fine people like yourself, and hopefully Gunler gets the strength he needs and gets the confidence he needs. Because when you're bouncing around the lineup like that and you're young and you're playing in a men's league, it can be a blow to your confidence. So hopefully that all gets straightened out for next season. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.